Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, March 19th, 2021, and this is my astrological outlook for the day. So, for starters, first things first, today we have the sun discharging the very last degree of the zodiac, the very end of the circle of life energy that we experience through the entire zodiacal wheel, 30 degrees of Pisces. And the Sabian symbol for 30 degrees of Pisces is the longest symbol of all of the symbols in the zodiac. And this is what it is. A majestic rock formation resembling a face is idealized by a boy who takes it as his ideal of greatness, and as he grows up, begins to look like it. So that's the Sabian symbol that's in effect today as the sun discharges the very last degree of Pisces. Tomorrow, the sun will move into Aries and it will really shift the energy. We've been going through a week of energetic shifts. There's been a lot of planets changing positions this week. And just to kind of put the exclamation point on the end, the sun will also change signs this week and start discharging the energetic of Aries, spring, yay. But for today, we are focused on the very last degree of the zodiac and the vibrations, the frequencies, the resonance, the messages that brings to us in terms of where we're at in our unfolding of the current energies and the upcoming energies that are leading us into second renaissance, or just basically like a whole new world and way of doing life, which is right around the corner. So let's get started. So as I said, the degree today that the sun is discharging, I'll read it one more time. A majestic rock formation resembling a face is idealized by a boy who takes it as his ideal of greatness, and as he grows, begins to look like it. So already, just in that itself, we know that we're talking about ideals of greatness and evolving into our highest potentials, basically, which is the same message that has been being drilled into us over and over and over and over and over again throughout the course of the new moon cycle so far. And the Earth today is at another interesting degree. The sun and the earth are always directly opposite each other. So the earth is discharging 30 Pisces. And that energetic is having an urgent task to complete. A person doesn't look to any distractions. So considering that those two dynamics are in effect today, and we also have some interesting transits going on that actually kind of speak to these energetics. This morning when I was, or maybe it was last night, this morning or last night, whenever I was doing these notes, I wrote about this just generally, that this is trying to tell us that going forward and now we should be focused on forming new ideals of greatness to bring forth into reality. And that really is the essence of what the new moon with the Venus-Neptune conjunction was asking us, and what the degree of Saturn has been asking us. And remember, that degree right now is 11 Aquarius. In a quiet moment, a man receives a divine inspiration that may change his life. And also the degree of Saturn for the new moon at 10 Aquarius, which that was our lesson during the new moon and really for the whole cycle, even though Saturn's discharging this degree now, giving us further instructions. But while Saturn was at 10 Aquarius, it was, I'm happy to go back. Sorry. A man who had for a time become the embodiment of an ideal is made to realize that as a person, he is not an ideal. So we were looking at what we had established in our minds and thought processes up to this point as like the true standard of greatness, and being called to really reevaluate that. And now with the degree today, we're focusing on new ideals of greatness and bringing them forth into reality, and focusing diligently on this without distractions, because of the degree of the earth. Having an urgent task to complete, a person doesn't look to any distractions. And forming those new ideals of greatness at this point in time that we need to bring forth into reality, that really is like, we need to focus on that completely. We really can't be distracted at this point in time with all of the other goings on and stuff that a lot of us have been focused on up to this point, instead of, cultivating our own self. We put all of our interest in everything externally, paying attention to what other people are doing, like what's the gossip, what's the story, like what's entertaining me. And now we need to turn that inwards, figure out what's entertaining and interesting about ourselves, and build that and give that, and then create our lives around it. Because that's really the point and the purpose of this life, is to cultivate our souls and develop to our highest potentials. And we can't do that if we're not looking inwards, and we can't build the new world if we're not each becoming the most full embodiment of what we were born to be. That's that. And the Sabian today, last degree of Pisces, last degree of the zodiac, last day when we have the Pisces Neptune energy really emphasized by not only Neptune, Venus, and Mercury now, but the placement of the sun. And that was where the new moon is. So today is really a good opportunity to really look to things that inspire us to be better, and then form our subconscious imaging around that, so that we can evolve into that over time. Make it like the roadmap of our psyches and how to get to our particular ideal of greatness. And I find it interesting in the context of everything else that's been going on. I also wrote about this. The degree of the Sun-Earth energy dynamics are also emphasized today by the building of the Mars-Saturn trine, only now 1 degree away from being exact. Mars has moved to 10 Gemini, and Saturn is at 11 Aquarius. So 2 more days, and Mars will be moving to 11 Gemini and forming a beautiful trine to Saturn, and it will be in very close proximity to the North Node also. So we have tremendous potential coming up to literally build our futures. And because Saturn is involved and Mars is involved, we have a lot of energy and motivation, and we can do it with passion and with fervor. And it can be very long lasting because Saturn rules time. So what we use this energy to build is going to carry on for a long time because it's Saturn, and Saturn makes things endure. And it's with the North Node. So building the future, and we have Mars there doing it with us. And that is really good for giving us strength and endurance and willpower. So I really like this, the way it's looking coming up right now. And also, we're going to be having the sun move into Aries, and Mars rules Aries. So the sun will be working towards Mars's purpose while it trines Saturn and moves into conjunction with the North Node. So we'll have a lot of really great energy, vitality behind it. It's interesting how these energetics are playing out this week. These degrees explain the work Mars and Saturn want us to do and accomplish this week as the conjunction comes exact. So these degrees of the sun and the earth today, at this time, at the last degree of Pisces, at the last degree of the zodiac, are explaining to us what the Neptune-Venus conjunction wanted at the new moon, and also what the Mars-Saturn-North Node trine that's coming up wants for us now going forward, where we need to put our energy and what we need to build, our ideals of greatness. And we need to focus diligently without distraction. It says it right there. I didn't make it up. It just says it. That's just what it says. Okay. So number 2. we have the moon today conjuncting Mars. So that's a lot of energy. Mars is energy, and that's a lot of energy. And it can also be like more heated feelings and thoughts, more like internal tension, just feeling like a little irritated or tense or like uptight about things, like just like, you might like snap a little bit, like people's, especially like auditory things, like just sounds or things that you're hearing kind of just like bothering you or irking you, or people asking you questions, people talking to you. With that energy right now, in Gemini, and also with Mercury coming into square with Mars, they're 3 degrees off right now, while the moon is conjuncting Mars. That is kind of like how that energetic could play out. Just like a general like tension and irritation, or just being bothered by things people are saying, even if it's not something that you necessarily have a problem with, just feeling like kind of like overstimulated auditorily or verbally, or something like that. Also, I wrote aggressive, angry, passionate, frustration, depression, tension, all of those things with the moon conjuncting Mars square Mercury in Pisces could be just like general like internal feelings, because it's the moon of the day. Thoughts in conflict with feelings also could be a manifestation of this energy, and charged feelings about ideas, thoughts, beliefs. Also, like the urge or motivation to build, create, form new foundations and structures for things. Also, new frameworks of thoughts and ideas, because the Saturn is in trine as well. So we have today, and the next couple of days. Tomorrow it will be, or in 2 days it will come exact, but just strictly simply because the moon is here, that brings everything like internal and makes us like really feel it. So that's why I say that. But also the building, like, use the energy to be productive. That will be a good release of the tension. Is trying to channel that energy, trying to be productive with it. That's the best way to kind of deal with that. And also just to realize that it's going on, and that like you're just a little irritated today, and that's why you feel like that, and that's fine, and the energy will change. It always changes. The moon will move signs, and by tomorrow the moon won't be conjuncting Mars anymore, and that feeling will kind of dissipate. Although we still have the Mars Mercury square going on, so that's another issue. But yes, so because yes, we have the moon conjuncting Mars, squaring Mercury, and trining Saturn. So all of those things, and like I said, urge, motivation to build, create, form new foundations. It's because of the Saturn trine, and Saturn builds and structures things that are usually of like good long-term lasting value. All right, number 3, I wrote, Neptune is preparing to change degrees tomorrow for another energetic shift this week. So let's talk about our energetic shifts this week, shall we? Okay, we had Jupiter change degrees, Saturn change degrees, Chiron change degrees, the Black Moon change degrees, the nodes change degrees, Mercury change signs, and tomorrow, Neptune and the Sun will both be changing signs on the same day. So by tomorrow, Friday, wrapping up the week, it should start feeling quite a bit different on an energetic level, and this will affect everybody differently depending on where in your own personal chart you have Aries and what house or part of life. Because in astrology, there's 12 signs, and then there's 12 houses. Each of the 12 houses correspond to the 12 signs, but they're not always lined up. Like Aries in the first house, Taurus in the second. They're not always lined up according to their sameness. The houses depict the areas of life that things happen in, and the signs talk about what that energetic influence is like. So that's kind of how that works. But so it depends. It's different for everyone depending on where your ascendant is, and then where each sign falls on each house, and then where each planet is falling in each sign for you. And if you want a reading, send me a direct message and I will give you a reading. I am a professional astrologer. I've been doing readings and charts for quite a while. So if you want to know your own natal chart and where your own personal placements are and where your strengths and weaknesses are and how things are affecting you right now and going forward, give me a shout and I will be happy to work with you on that. Anyways, Neptune preparing to change degrees. We will talk about this more tomorrow when it changes degrees. But, oh wait, I said Friday. I meant Saturday. Today is Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. So they'll be changing degrees on Saturday. Okay, so yeah, we have the Sun and Neptune. Okay, Neptune is just changing degrees, so it will be just charging a different degree, and like I said, I'll talk about that tomorrow. And then the Sun, it's interesting because the Sun, Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune's switching degree, and the Sun's leaving Pisces, so there's like that Pisces-Neptune correlation there. I find that fascinating that they would move on the same time. But like I said, the Sun is moving to Aries, 1 degree of Aries, the 1st degree of the zodiac, the start of the fresh spring energy. 1 Aries is like the spark that ignites the entire zodiac. It's like the initial burst of life. It's a significant degree. And it activates Mars. And we've talked a lot about Mars because Mars is in conjunction to the North Node. And that's a big deal. That will be a big activation kind of for all of us in some way, collectively. It will really spur the beginning of the new world that I say is coming rapidly, because it is. And so the Sun moving here will strengthen Mars to do its work to help activate the initiation of our destiny. Second Renaissance. Laura Walker, she's the best. OracleReport.com. So, that's a big deal. We should generally start feeling a lot more active, and have a lot more energy and want to be out and about a lot more and talking more and communicating and learning. Those type of themes should be energized and highlighted when the Sun moves into Aries and starts activating that Mars North Node in Gemini. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Mercury square as we move through the next couple days too, because Mercury will be squaring Mars. Okay, last thing I have for today, and then I'll wrap this up. Vulcan, like I never talk about Vulcan until like the past 2 weeks, and like I talk about Vulcan every day. But Vulcan is at 1 Aries today, the 1st degree of the zodiac, and like I said, that is the spark. That is the initiative factor of life. That is like the burst of life that makes all life spring forth into creation, the entire wheel. And so with Vulcan there, who rules like eruptions and explosions, I wrote, it emphasizes the explosive eruptive nature of its energy because 1 degree Aries is a spark that ignites the life that fuels the entire astrological story of the cosmos. And with Vulcan here, it could mean, yet again, more explosive or eruptive energy today, generally, especially when you consider this when we have the moon conjuncting Mars, and Mars rules Aries. And we have the Sun on the cusp about to move into Aries, where Vulcan has just entered. The Sun will be following Vulcan there tomorrow. So, just something of note, just thought I'd throw that out there. There is potential for just things of like a more eruptive or explosive nature to be, I don't know, to be like happening today. There's just, it's just the 1st degree of the zodiac is very eruptive in terms of the force that it carries because it lights up everything. It's the first spark of life. And with Vulcan there, it's like A lot of fresh new starts though. That's a lot of energy to start or to like think about starting or to have like ideas and inspirations about things because it is like the spark that writes the story. So that's another way to look at it. Okay, well, 20 minutes again. I really want to do these videos shorter, but I just can't seem to. I don't know why. Like I start and I'm like, okay, I only have to say this, this, and this. I'm going to do it in under 10 minutes today. And then every time it's like 20 minutes. I'm like, I don't know how to do it shorter. I'm going to try. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. And everybody work on forming new ideals of greatness and bringing them diligently into reality. Love you. See you tomorrow.